We spend so much of our lives online, and because of that, we all have these little security rituals we do without even thinking.
I mean, you lock your phone, right? Dozens of times a day. PIN, face, fingerprint, it's just automatic.
You lock your laptop the second you step away from it. Total second nature.
And of course, you lock all your accounts with passwords. It's like rule number one of the internet.
Okay, so with all these locks everywhere, here's the million-dollar question. How on earth do hackers still manage to get in? Well, let's break it down.
All right, first things first, we got to get the Hollywood version out of our heads. Real hacking isn't some genius typing a million lines of green code to break into a super secret facility. The reality? It's way simpler. It's really about understanding people and looking for tiny, common mistakes. And this quote right here, it really says it all. Hackers aren't usually breaking down fortified doors. They're just walking down the hallway, rattling all the doorknobs, looking for the one that was left unlocked.
So to really get a handle on this, let's use a little analogy for the rest of this explainer. I want you to think of pretty much every hack like it's an attempt to break into a house.
So let's look at the playbook. Most hacks, believe it or not, follow 4 pretty simple steps. They observe, they trick, they use weak locks, and then they move quietly once they're inside. Step 1 is observation. A real-life burglar doesn't just kick in the front door. First, they walk around the block, right? They check for open windows, see if a key is under the mat. Online, hackers do the exact same thing. They scan social media, websites, and apps, just gathering little clues like your email or your username.
Now, step 2, this is where it gets really clever. It's all about tricking, not breaking. This is by far the most common method. It's just like a thief showing up at your house dressed in a delivery uniform. You trust the uniform, so you open the door. Hackers do this with fake emails and texts that create panic, making you click before you have a chance to think.
And there's actually a name for this technique. It's called social engineering. The whole point isn't to outsmart the computer's security, it's to outsmart the person using the computer. See, they don't want to steal your key, they want to convince you to just hand it over.
Which brings us to step 3, weak locks. I mean, some doors just have those cheap, flimsy locks that are easy to break. The online version of that, it's a password like 123456, or, and this is a big one, using that same simple password for all of your accounts.
And finally, we have step 4, moving quietly. Once a hacker is inside your account, they don't usually start smashing things up. More often than not, they just explore, silently, sometimes for weeks, even months, digging around for the really valuable stuff like bank info or private company data. And you might not even know they're there.
So how does all this connect to your actual everyday life? Well, think about this. Hopping on that free public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop? That's basically the digital version of shouting your private conversations, passwords and all, in a super crowded room. Literally anyone who's listening can hear everything.
Or how about installing some random app without checking the permissions? That's kind of like letting a total stranger move into your house just because they promised you some free snacks. You have no clue what they're actually up to in there.
And reusing the same password everywhere? Oh man, that's like having one single key that opens your house, your car, your office, and your gym locker. If a thief gets their hands on that one key, they get your entire life.
All right, let's bust a few common myths real quick. Myth number 1, hackers are all brilliant coding geniuses. The reality? Most of the time, psychology beats technology. Simple psychological tricks are way more common than some super complex piece of code.
Next up, I'm not important enough to be hacked. Let me tell you, the truth is, hackers do not care who you are. A lot of these are just automated systems looking for what you have. Access to your bank, your data, your online identity, things they can use or sell.
And the final myth, my antivirus software will protect me from everything. Look, antivirus is super important, but it's like having a great lock on your door. It is not going to stop you from being tricked into opening that door for a stranger. Now, I know hearing all this might sound a little scary, but it really shouldn't. Because understanding how this stuff actually works, it doesn't give you fear, it gives you power. It gives you the power to just pause for a second, to question things, and to spot the tricks before they have a chance to work.
The most crucial point to take away is this. At its core, hacking isn't really about breaking complex systems. It's about exploiting our natural human tendency to trust.
So, to sum it all up, hackers observe our habits, they trick our instincts, and they take advantage of our weak security practices. Most of the time, they succeed because of small, totally preventable human errors, not because of some unstoppable piece of technology.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Knowing that most of this comes down to exploiting our habits and our trust, just ask yourself this: what is the single, simplest habit you could change, starting right now, today, to make a hacker's job just a little bit harder?